Hey guys, welcome back to more homeowner association stories. Picture this. You've just come back from a peaceful vacation ready to kick back at your cabin getaway, only to discover it's been transformed into a full-blown wedding venue. Guests milling around, vendors setting up, flowers and streamers everywhere. And the kicker? The HOA lady behind it all calls 911 and insists you're the trespasser. Yeah, buckle up because this one is wild. The first story is titled HOA Karen Tried to Book My Cabin for a 100-Person Wedding. So here's the deal. I own a rustic little cabin tucked away on private land, not far from town but well outside any HOA jurisdiction. It's not some spooky horror movie shack in the woods, but a cozy place with modern touches, plumbing, electricity, everything. It's been in my family for generations, though I'm not even sure how far back it goes. Nobody lives there full-time, but I treat it as my actual home. Important context: my cabin is completely outside of the HOA's reach. Their rules don't touch me. But of course, that doesn't stop a certain board member, let's call her Karen, from believing the entire area is her kingdom. I've heard stories about her pushing around neighbors, inventing rules, and acting like the sheriff of suburbia. I mostly ignored it until she locked onto my cabin. It happened one summer. I spent most of the season at the cabin but took a week off for a family vacation. When I returned, I was greeted with a nightmare, except instead of scary, it looked like Barbie's dream house exploded. Pink ribbons, chairs, tables, cars all over my property. And front and center was Karen herself, clipboard in hand, barking orders at people like she was running the Oscars. Before I could even ask what the hell was happening, she marched up to me. "Karen, excuse me, what are you doing here?" "Me? That's my question. Why are you on my property? You need to leave before guests arrive." I nearly laughed in her face. She doubled down, saying she had permission from the real owner and even permits on her clipboard. Funny thing though, she refused to actually show me those papers. Instead, she accused me of trespassing on my own land. I wasn't having it. I told her I'd go inside, blast music, and maybe even start pulling down her decorations. She didn't back down. She pulled out her phone and called the police, claiming a dangerous squatter was harassing her guests. Meanwhile, some of the vendors and early guests were looking around in total confusion. A few actually believed Karen and thought I was some random nut breaking into her venue. But the vendors, the people hired to set this whole thing up, started asking questions. They wanted to see the contract again. Karen reluctantly handed over some paperwork, and the second they looked closely, you could see the panic spread across their faces. It didn't take long for them to realize the contract was bogus. That's when I pulled out my title deed, ID, and proof of ownership. The truth started sinking in fast. Still, Karen wouldn't let go. She yelled, "You shouldn't even be here. This is my event. The HOA approved 100 guests." I calmly reminded her that the HOA had zero authority over my land and that I was literally holding the proof that I was the rightful owner. Then the cops showed up. Karen flagged them down, shrieking about how I was impersonating the owner. But when I calmly handed the officers my ID and deed, it was game over. The police loudly announced, "This is private property and the owner wants everyone gone." At that point, vendors packed up their gear, guests scrambled to leave, and the whole charade fell apart. Karen, of course, refused to quit. She screamed, demanded everyone stay, and kept insisting I was the problem. The officers warned her multiple times, but she just wouldn't shut up. Finally, they cuffed her and hauled her away for trespassing and refusing to comply. And guess what? The bride, Karen's niece, never even showed up. The whole wedding collapsed before it started. The vendors were furious because Karen was now refusing to pay them, blaming me for everything. I told them it wasn't their fault, and they even apologized to me. Meanwhile, Karen was sitting in the back of a squad car. The fallout was glorious. Neighbors gossiped for weeks about the HOA board member who got arrested for trying to hijack someone's cabin. From then on, the HOA gave me a wide berth. I don't blame the entire board, just Karen. She thought she was reserving a wedding venue, but all she booked was a trip to the police station. So yeah, guys, what would you have done in that situation? If you came home to find a wedding set up on your property, would you have let it crash and burn like I did, or would you have handled it differently? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that hype button. It helps me a ton. Now, moving on, the next story is a brilliant malicious compliance tale titled Don't Wanna Play? Fine by me. I've worked in computer security for years, and if you've ever been in that field, you know one golden rule. Always lock your computer when you step away. Doesn't matter if you're gone for 2 minutes. It's policy. About a decade ago, teams used to playfully punish coworkers who forgot. If you left your screen unlocked, someone would hop on and send a silly email or chat message from your account, like asking if anyone knew the meaning of life. It was harmless, funny, and served as a reminder without reporting anyone officially. Then came this new guy. Day one, I remind him about the rule. He shrugs it off. Weeks go by, he keeps ignoring it. Multiple warnings from the team. Still nothing. Finally, we decide he's fair game. One day, he leaves his desk for a while, so I type a harmless, goofy email on his account. He comes back furious and threatens to report me to security. Fine. If he doesn't want to play, we'll go by the book. So I tell the team, no more jokes. From now on, every single time he leaves his computer unlocked, file a security violation report. Within 2 days, nearly 50 tickets were opened against him. The guy was forced into retraining and disciplinary action. He tried to argue, but hey, we were just following procedure. Eventually, he got put on a performance plan and was gone within a week. Nobody wanted him fired, but if you refuse to follow the most basic rule in a security job, you don't belong there. And yeah, guys, have you ever done malicious compliance at work? Drop your stories down below. While you're at it, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps.